The tale commences with a hunter locked in combat against monstrous adversaries. Amidst the fray, an eagle-like beast swoops down upon the hunter, only to meet its end swiftly at the hunter's hands. This hunter, renowned as Ravenvault, bears the moniker of the immortal crow and is feared far and wide for his prowess. As Raven dispatches the monsters, thoughts of freedom tantalize him, for a mere 15 days remain until potential liberation. Determined, Raven envisions his escape from this perilous existence. The narrative then transitions to the campsite of the Rakshasa units, where Raven seeks refuge. Reflecting on the past decade, each day is felt akin to hell. The Rakshasa units, stationed in a realm embroiled in perpetual conflict with monsters, is regarded as a lowly unit, its ranks filled with societal outcasts, slaves, and criminals. It's a place where life holds little value, inhabited by individuals who have resigned themselves to their fate. Overheard conversations among a few men lament Raven's leadership, attributing the deaths of his comrades to his decisions once again. In the aftermath, Raven emerges as the lone survivor once again, prompting whispers among his peers about his remarkable resilience despite his aristocratic background. A confrontation ensues when a man confronts Raven about his unresponsiveness to calls, to which Raven responds with a smirk, questioning the man's eagerness for a swift demise. With a swift kick to the stomach, Raven asserts his dominance before drawing his sword, poised at the man's throat. Yet, in a surprising turn, Raven relents, retracting his blade and shoving the man to the ground before departing. Within the confines of the Rakshasa unit's camp, tales circulate about Raven's unlikely journey, a former nobleman who has defied the odds, surviving a decade in a unit notorious for its high mortality rate. These whispers hold truth, for Raven was indeed once a scion of the esteemed Vault family, albeit not among the most illustrious. However, the fickle hand of fate stripped Raven of his status and possessions, leaving him to navigate the harsh realities of his new existence. The narrative then delves into events a decade prior, when the Vault family faced damning accusations of plotting against the Empire. As the Empire's forces dismantled the family, Raven, too, found himself ensnared by the guards. In a fervent plea, he vehemently denies his family's alleged treachery, insisting they were innocent victims of a larger conspiracy. However, an Empire knight rebuffs Raven's defense, chiding him for his family's purported transgressions. Despite Raven's protestations, the knight reveals that the Vault lineage, save for Raven himself, has been extinguished. In a surprising turn, the knight offers Raven a proposition: endure 10 years of service within the Rakshasa units, and his life shall be spared. Raven is taken aback by the unexpected reprieve. Meanwhile, among the nobility, laughter erupts at the notion of a nobleman like Raven being consigned to the Rakshasa units, a unit regarded as the Empire's lowest, filled with criminals and societal outcasts. The nobles ponder how such a fate could befall one of their own. The nobles anticipate the demise of the Vault family, yet Ravenvault defies expectations with a resolute decision. Meeting the knight's gaze, Raven solemnly inquires if surviving 10 years of monster slaying is all that's required. The knight confirms, promising Raven freedom thereafter. Determinately, Raven pledges to not only survive but also resurrect the Vault lineage. Returning to the present, Raven contemplates the imminent end of his indignity. Since joining the unit, he has faced monsters devoid of training or experience, merely striving to endure. Over the span of a decade, Raven, once a mere youth, has ascended to become the Rakshasa unit's premier monster hunter. With the next monster purge slated to be his last, Raven believes freedom and the restoration of his family lie within reach. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to the Ancona forest in the Pendragon Duchy, where a white dragon addresses a yellow-haired noble. The dragon forewarns of the dwindling time before a pact is fulfilled, setting an ominous tone for what lies ahead. Dragons, revered as the mightiest creatures on Earth, hold a unique status among monsters. Only one family possesses the power to subdue these formidable beasts, the Pendragon ducal family. Renowned for their ability to tame dragons, the Pendragons wield immense political influence, ranking among the Empire's most prestigious noble houses. As the narrative shifts to 13 days before Ravenvault's impending pardon, he enters the command tent of Balti, the Rakshasa unit's commanding officer. Balti questions Raven's solitary return once again, seeking a report on the reconnaissance mission. Raven reports a significant concentration of monsters ahead, warning of the dire consequences if they unite with their main forces. Balti acknowledges the peril, conceding that the Rakshasa units alone stands little chance against such odds. However, hope arrives in the form of the Pendragon ducal family. Balti reveals that they will come to their aid tomorrow, bolstering their ranks against the impending threat. The prospect of Pendragon assistance brings a glimmer of optimism amidst the looming danger. Furthermore, the Pendragon family is bringing along one of the most powerful creatures known to mankind, a dragon. Startled by this revelation, Raven questions Balti as to why such a mythical being would deign to fight alongside them. Balti assures Raven of the truth, explaining that the Pendragons have mastered the art of subduing dragons across generations. It appears that the white dragon will be tasked with vanquishing the monsters. Raven reflects on the Pendragon's significance. Not only do they boast royal lineage, but they also hold the highest noble rank in the Empire. While uncertain of the veracity of these claims, Raven ponders the Pendragon's rumored ability to command dragons, creatures bordering on legend. Despite a decade of confronting monsters, Raven has never encountered a dragon, leading him to question Balti's reliance on such tales. Moreover, rumors suggest that the Pendragon family's influence has waned since the demise of their predecessors. Raven remains skeptical, unsure whether to believe in the Pendragon's supposed power. Raven expresses his distrust of the Pendragons to Balti, who dismisses Raven's concerns, citing it as an order. Balti reassures Raven that he won't be required to fight the following day. Perplexed, Raven queries Balti's intentions, to which Balti explains that with a dragon on their side, it's wise to let the dragon handle the monsters while Raven guards the Pendragon child. Raven seeks clarification on whether this task is sufficient. Balti emphasizes the importance of Raven sticking by the Pendragon child's side at all costs. Raven acquiesces, agreeing to follow Balti's instructions. Balti then instructs Raven to personally greet the future Duke Pendragon. Approaching the Pendragon tent, Raven observes the family's flags, confirming their presence. He muses on their desperation in aiding the Rakshasa units. Despite the impending battle, Raven remains indifferent to the outcome, prioritizing his survival for a chance at pardon and freedom. Entering the tent, Raven calls out for the young lord. In response, he hears a voice that startles him, its otherworldly quality leaving Raven momentarily unsettled. Despite this, Raven offers an apology for his unannounced presence and seeks confirmation of the individual's identity as Lord Pendragon. The voice affirms Raven's suspicion, confirming his assumption. Requesting Raven's name and purpose, the voice prompts Raven to introduce himself as the captain of the 12th Division of the Rakshasa units. Raven explains that he's been tasked with guarding Lord Pendragon in the upcoming battle. However, before Raven can proceed further, the voice interrupts, dismissing the need for Raven's report and advising him to rest for the following day. Unperturbed, Raven hesitates to leave, prompting the voice to inquire if he has additional matters to address. Seizing the opportunity, Raven inquires about the absence of the dragon, questioning its crucial role in their combat strategy. The voice reassures Raven that the dragon will indeed assist them and bids him to depart. Accepting the instruction, Raven exits the tent, pondering the curious quietness of Lord Pendragon. He questions the likelihood of a nobleman venturing alone to a place like the Rakshasa units. Nevertheless, Raven resigns himself to the notion that their paths will likely never cross again after tomorrow's battle. The following day, Balti rallies the assembled forces, signaling the time to advance. Suddenly, an explosion rocks the scene, revealing the arrival of a white dragon. Raven is struck with awe at the sight. Alongside the dragon emerges Lord Pendragon, introducing himself as Heir Pendragon. With resolve, Heir declares the commencement of the monster extermination. The narrative shifts to the midst of the monster battle, with Raven diligently protecting Heir Pendragon. As a pack of wolf monsters closes in on them, Raven confides in Heir, admitting his unfamiliarity with combat while safeguarding others. He implores Heir to refrain from unnecessary movements. As the wolf monster launched its attack on Raven, he swiftly retaliated, effortlessly taking down the entire pack with a single, precise strike. Glancing skyward, he marvels at the dragon's effortless prowess, astonished that such a creature truly exists. Raven acknowledges the unmatched power of the white dragon, realizing that no monster can withstand its destructive capabilities. Despite the multitude of monsters, the dragon's intervention ensures a smoother battle than ever before. Raven attributes their success to the dragon's formidable presence, grateful for its assistance in turning the tide of the battle. Their victory seems almost certain, prompting Raven to consider himself fortunate that the last mission wasn't more challenging. As the white dragon touches down near Heir Pendragon, Raven inquires about their well-being, to which Heir reassures him that they are unharmed. Suddenly, eagle monsters descend from the sky, catching Raven's attention. Urging Heir to command the dragon, Raven is dismayed to find both Heir and the dragon with closed eyes. Raven notes the sizable presence of the eagle monsters, who launch a coordinated attack on the white dragon, which remains passive. Shocked by the dragon's lack of response, Raven cries out in disbelief, demanding to know why it isn't defending itself. Turning to Heir for answers, Raven is interrupted as more monsters emerge from the right side. Despite the dwindling numbers of monsters, Raven realizes there are still more than he anticipated. The situation becomes increasingly dire as their foes continue to multiply. Before Raven could react, the monsters launch an attack against both him and Heir. Raven reflects on the unmatched might of dragons, believing their presence ensured victory. However, he chastises himself for relying on such fantasies and being overconfident. As Raven opens his eyes, he's shocked to witness the dragon being overwhelmed by the monsters. Confusion grips him as he struggles to comprehend the sudden turn of events. As the monster advances toward Raven, he rises despite his injuries and swiftly dispatches his assailants with the aid of his sword. Feeling utterly drained, Raven acknowledges his deep wounds, knowing they won't heal instantly. He gazes at the fallen white dragon and himself with disdain, recognizing their shared foolishness. Approaching the dragon, Raven queries if it's truly deceased, receiving no response. His attention then turns to the injured Aaron Pendragon lying nearby. Raven implores Aaron to clarify why the dragon ceased its attack upon Aaron's command. Frustrated, Raven insists that victory was within reach had the dragon continued fighting, pressing Aaron for an explanation. Unexpectedly, Raven is struck from behind, sending him crashing to the ground. To his astonishment, the assailant is revealed to be Balti. Raven is left reeling from the betrayal. Suddenly, Balti commands the soldiers to charge and put an end to the chaos. Raven is stunned to see Balti ordering the Imperial forces into action. Balti dismisses Raven's surprise, citing the reality that some individuals wield ultimate control from the outset, while others blindly adhere to their decisions. In a shocking turn of events, Balti swiftly dispatches Aaron Pendragon before Raven's eyes. Balti nonchalantly explains that Aaron's fate was predetermined, leaving Raven bewildered. Turning his attention to Raven, Balti acknowledges Raven's exceptional combat skills and reveals that Raven possesses an extraordinary healing ability. Raven is astonished by this revelation and questions Balti's knowledge about him. Balti admits to feigning ignorance until now, lamenting the unfortunate circumstance that Raven, despite his immortal body, will meet his end today. Raven is left grappling with the grim reality of his impending demise. Faced with the realization that freedom and the restoration of his family seem increasingly out of reach, Raven reflects on the singular purpose that has driven him for the past decade. Despite his unwavering determination, he begins to feel the weight of his powerlessness and vulnerability. Raven resigns himself to the grim fate that awaits him in this desolate place, lamenting the cruel reality of his situation. In a surprising gesture, Balti offers Raven a revelation in his final moments. He discloses a shocking truth: the downfall of the Vault family, Raven's forced enlistment in the Rakshasa units, and the impending demise of both Raven and Aaron Pendragon were all part of a meticulously orchestrated plan. Raven is stunned by this revelation, grappling with the implications of the manipulation that has shaped his fate. As Balti moves to execute Raven, the white dragon, previously believed to be defeated, opens her eyes. With a solemn declaration that all conditions have been met, the white dragon ascends into the sky. It proclaims that on this day, as the sun and moon converge, the pact will be fulfilled with the blood of 1,000 men and monsters, a dragon monarch, and a human monarch. As the dragon's head begins to glow, it gazes into the heavens and declares that the outcome now rests upon the dragon rider. Raven finds himself in a bewildering situation, questioning if he's even alive after recalling a sensation of his body contorting unnaturally. As Raven gradually awakens, the maid assisting him is taken aback by his stirring. With a gasp, she hastily rushes outside to spread the news that the young lord has regained consciousness. Meanwhile, Raven surveys his surroundings, noting the opulent furnishings of the unfamiliar room. Puzzled, he wonders about his location and how he came to be there. Raven encounters a butler named Melbon, who bursts into tears at Raven's awakening. The butler addresses Raven as the young lord and asks if he recognizes him. Puzzled, Raven inquires about the title, Young Lord, prompting the butler to reveal that they are in Conrad Castle, under the rule of Aaron Pendragon, whom Raven apparently now embodies. Raven is struck with disbelief upon hearing this revelation. Hastily, he seeks confirmation by catching sight of his reflection in the nearby water, where the truth dawns upon him: he has somehow transformed into Aaron Pendragon. The maid, Lindsay, inquires of young Lord Aaron whether he recalls his identity. The butler interjects, expressing little surprise at Aaron's confusion, given his 3-year-long unconsciousness. Aaron is stunned by this revelation, realizing that 3 years have passed since the fateful battle. Inwardly, he recollects the moment when Balti took down Aaron, an event etched vividly in Raven's memory. The realization dawns on him as he grapples with the implications of assuming another's identity. Raven's mind swirls with confusion and disbelief. He questions his own mortality, pondering the inexplicable return of the supposedly deceased Pendragon. News of Aaron's awakening spread, drawing his mother, Lady Elena, to his side. Lindsay and the butler greeted Lady Elena with joy. As Elena walks towards Aaron, he's shocked to see her simply walk through the woman blocking her path. The woman signals to Aaron with a subtle gesture, indicating for him to keep her presence a secret. Elena embraced her son, prompting a query about his memory of her. Aaron was utterly bewildered, unable to grasp the surreal events unfolding around him. Nothing seemed to align with logic or reason. Then, an elderly woman motioned towards the window, drawing Aaron's attention to the sight outside. There, amidst a flurry of gasps and startled murmurs, stood the majestic white dragon, Soldrake. Soldrake's thunderous roars reverberated through the room, sending shockwaves of disbelief through everyone present. As the dragon attempted to breach Aaron's chamber, Aaron couldn't fathom how he knew the creature's name. Soldrake was supposed to have perished alongside Aaron during that fateful incident. Pondering the possibility of the dragon's survival, Aaron's mind struggled to reconcile the inexplicable. His confusion deepened as his mother positioned herself protectively before him, confronting the dragon with an unwavering resolve. In a surprising turn, the elderly woman stepped forward, effortlessly taming Soldrake with gentle gestures. Witnessing this astonishing display, Aaron moved to intervene, but the old woman silenced him with a playful wink, leaving him to grapple with the enigma unfolding before his eyes. Aaron's astonishment deepened as Elena urged him to stay clear, cautioning of danger. Hearing his mother's words, Aaron realized he alone could perceive the presence of the mysterious old woman. With a few uttered words, the old woman commanded Soldrake, prompting the dragon to soar away from the castle as she vanished into thin air. Witnessing her disappearance, Aaron felt a surge of surprise. Melbon, the butler, hurried to Elena's side, expressing concern for her well-being. Assured by Elena that she was unharmed, Elena turned to Aaron, her gaze fixing upon him, as she inquired about his well-being. Aaron, amidst the opulent castle, surrounded by worried attendants and a departing white dragon, couldn't shake the feeling of inhabiting Aaron Pendragon's role. Elena's repeated inquiries about his welfare prompted Aaron to reassure her, calming both Elena and Melbon. Resolving to untangle the mysteries surrounding him, Aaron acknowledged the need to gather information discreetly. As Aaron endeavors to conceal his true identity as Raven from the servants, he resolves to gather pertinent information from them discreetly. Within the Empire, the Rakshasa unit stood as a marginalized and subpar unit, existing in a realm devoid of human rights. Yet, within this harsh environment, Raven managed to endure for a decade. His survival was a testament to his refined combat skills and extraordinary healing prowess. Raven emerged as a warrior without adversaries, feared by both humans and monsters alike. However, fate took a cruel turn during the monster eradication campaign in the Lobteen Plain. In the throes of battle, Raven, on the brink of liberation from the Rakshasa units, met his demise alongside Lord Pendragon, whom he had faithfully guarded. Supposedly fallen, Raven defied death, inhabiting Lord Pendragon's body. Moreover, he found himself transported back in time, 7 years prior to the fatal confrontation. This extraordinary turn of events heralded a profound transformation for Raven. Shedding his former life of relentless monster hunting, he emerged as Aaron Pendragon. As Lindsay tended to him, feeding him with a tenderness reminiscent of infancy, Aaron couldn't help but feel a pang of discomfort. The transition from formidable warrior to being cared for like a child struck him as excessive. Aaron informed Lindsay that it had been several days since he woke up, emphasizing that he could manage to eat by himself. He requested the food from her. However, Lindsay explained that the doctor's instructions mandated absolute stillness for Aaron, requiring assistance from the maids during meals. She gently urged Aaron to comply by opening his mouth for her to feed him. Reflecting on Lindsay's devoted care during his slumber as Raven, Aaron acknowledged her overprotectiveness. Despite feeling embarrassed, Aaron yielded to her insistence, allowing her to feed him. After finishing his meal, Lindsay expressed her hope that Aaron enjoyed it and announced her intention to help him dress until his medication was ready. Aaron declined her offer, asserting his ability to dress himself. He instructed Lindsay to bring his clothes and a hair clip while he washed his face. "Lindsay, I can manage," Aaron insisted, attempting to walk despite the protests about his frail body. However, Lindsay gently intervened, guiding him to a chair. She assured him she would handle changing his clothes and fixing his hair. Reluctantly, Aaron relented, allowing Lindsay to tend to him. As Lindsay tied his hair and helped him change, Aaron couldn't shake off the feeling of frustration at his current state, relying on others for even the simplest tasks. Suddenly, a voice called out, addressing him as brother. Startled, Aaron turned to see his sister, Lady Irene, accompanied by her daughter, Lady Mia. Mia rushed over to him, enveloping him in a hug, prompting an awkward smile from Aaron. Irene apologized for their unexpected visit and inquired about Aaron's ability to walk. Aaron reassured her, prompting Lindsay to offer Irene a seat. Despite Irene's concern about intruding, Aaron insisted they were not a bother. Irene's joy at his reassurance was evident as she mentioned the blooming summer flowers in the courtyard, steering the conversation towards lighter topics. As Aaron anticipated the chance to venture outside with Irene to admire the flowers, she eagerly launched into a detailed discourse about them. Aaron couldn't help but inwardly sigh, knowing he was in for another lengthy discussion. Despite his initial intention to feign amnesia upon waking up, Irene's loquacious nature made it nearly impossible to maintain the pretense. Yet, he found solace in the wealth of information she unwittingly provided. Listening to Irene's descriptions of the previous Aaron Pendragon, Aaron couldn't help but feel a pang of sympathy. The image she painted was of a melancholy figure, more inclined towards reading and drawing than wielding a sword. Furthermore, he learned of Aaron's timid and shy demeanor, often retreating to his room. These traits had led to ridicule among the nobles, despite Aaron's noble lineage. It was no wonder the Pendragon family had fallen from grace. But now, having been reincarnated as Aaron, Raven saw an opportunity to alter the course of history. In his current form, Aaron inhabited the 17-year-old body he possessed before crossing paths with Raven on the battlefield. Within the castle walls, whispers circulated that Aaron had been comatose for nearly 3 years, from the age of 14. Raven pondered the curious twist of fate that had him awaken as Aaron in this particular circumstance. However, he dismissed the question of why as insignificant compared to the opportunity it presented. For Raven, the paramount concern was his continued existence and the chance to start anew, 7 years prior. Freed from the shackles of the Rakshasa units, he aimed to redeem the tarnished honor of his family name, Vault. This rebirth offered him a second shot at fulfilling his unmet ambitions and unraveling the enigmatic words uttered by Balti before his demise, words hinting at a deeper connection between events. As Aaron Pendragon and Raven Vault intertwined, Raven resolved to embark once more into battle. Elena turns to Aaron, her voice drawing his attention as she asks if he's listening. Aaron offers a quick apology to his sister, urging her to continue. Irene then informs Aaron that it appears Luna will be visiting him soon. Perplexed, Aaron inquired about Luna's identity. Irene revealed Luna as the adopted daughter of Count Sirod, a knight of the Pendragon house. Irene reveals to Aaron that Luna is not only his visitor but also his fiancée. The revelation left Aaron momentarily speechless, grappling with the unexpected news. Meanwhile, outside, a carriage traversed through the forest, escorted by knights. Within, one of the knights informed Lady Luna of their imminent arrival at Conrad Castle, the seat of the Pendragon Duchy. Joseph Britton, the first knight of the Sirod Count family, approached Lady Luna with a question. He noted that she was about to meet her fiancé for the first time in 3 years and inquired about her feelings. Luna dismissed his concern, questioning why she should confide in him. She redirected his focus to his duties, indicating she didn't want him to worry about her. In her mind, Luna harbored doubts about Aaron Pendragon's strength. She believed Aaron to be weak and timid, doubting their ability to hold a proper conversation. Despite their engagement being initially beneficial for her family, Luna resolved to end it that day. Her father, the Count of Sirod, had decided to cancel the engagement due to the declining power of the Pendragon house. Luna disagreed with her father's leniency on the matter, feeling it was time to sever ties with a house that had fallen behind the others. Truthfully, Luna felt a wave of relief when her father instructed her to end things with Pendragon. Britton commented on Luna's facade of Luca's visit, knowing she was on her way to dissolve the engagement. He wondered if young Lord Aaron had matured, but Luna brushed off his inquiry, asserting it was none of his concern. She cautioned Britton against needlessly antagonizing the Pendragon Knights, but Britton laughed it off, claiming there were no knights in Pendragon anymore. He doubted Aaron could reclaim past glory, especially after failing to make a pact with a dragon. Britton boasted that he could bring more honor to the Sirod house than Pendragon ever could. Luna, annoyed by Britton's arrogance, asked him to step back, as Joseph's behavior had been unpleasant. Joseph, realizing his mistake, apologized to Lady Luna. Luna pondered the lack of decent men in both the Pendragon and Sirod families, finding fault in both weakness and arrogance. As they gathered in the entrance hall of Conrad Castle, Luna exchanged greetings with Aaron, his mother, and sister. Irene complimented Luna's appearance, while Elena expressed gratitude for her visit. Elena then entrusted Aaron with the task of escorting Luna to her room. Observing Aaron, Luna couldn't help but feel a sense of disappointment. Despite his age, he seemed incapable of even basic social interactions without being prodded. However, with a sudden display of charm, Aaron greeted Luna and offered to show her to her room. Luna was taken aback by this unexpected shift in demeanor. Aaron, noticing Luna's surprise, suggested she stay in a separate room from the knights. Luna found herself speechless, grappling with her conflicting emotions upon witnessing Aaron's uncharacteristic behavior. Gathering her composure, Luna apologized to Aaron for her earlier behavior and requested that he assign the knight to a separate room. Witnessing Luna's composed demeanor, Aaron reflected on Irene's description of Luna as calm and reserved, contrasting it with her current attitude towards him after 3 years of separation. He realized the political nature of their marriage. Led by Lindsay, Aaron and Luna were shown to their room. As they entered, Lindsay offered to prepare tea, receiving Aaron's approval. Aaron then urged Luna to sit down, surprising her with his assertiveness. Luna struggled to comprehend Aaron's sudden transformation from someone who couldn't even make eye contact to one confidently interacting with her and the servants. Commenting on Aaron's change, Luna mentioned hearing about his memory loss and questioned if he had forgotten about her. Aaron confirmed this, explaining that upon awakening, he couldn't recall anything from his past. He expressed regret for this, apologizing to Luna. Luna observed that Aaron had transformed into a completely different person after losing his memory, yet she couldn't help but notice how strikingly handsome he had become. She believed that with Aaron's newfound confidence, even the declining Pendragon family could potentially revive. Meanwhile, Aaron contemplated the precarious situation between the Pendragon and neighboring families, lacking crucial information about potential consequences. He sensed that Luna was concealing something from their initial encounter and resolved to uncover it. Aaron acknowledged the remarks from his servants and sister about his changed demeanor, implying that if Luna disapproved, she should discuss it with Count Sirod. In response, Luna vehemently rejected the suggestion, indicating that she held no desire to involve her father. The tension between them simmered as Luna's outburst hinted at deeper complexities beneath the surface. Luna swiftly apologized to Aaron for her sudden outburst, feeling conflicted about the situation. She recognized that her father had already decided to end the engagement with Aaron and had come to discuss it that day. Despite acknowledging Aaron's personal growth, Luna remained convinced that he couldn't restore the Pendragon family's reputation. Therefore, she felt compelled to address the matter with him promptly. As Luna prepared to broach the subject, Lindsay interrupted with a message from the Duchess, summoning Aaron and Lady Sirod to the audience chamber immediately. Aaron inquired about the urgency, prompting Lindsay to reveal that a commotion caused by the knight accompanying Luna had occurred. Luna was taken aback by the unforeseen development, realizing the timing couldn't be worse. Feeling cornered, Luna struggled to articulate her intentions to Aaron before the interruption. Aaron, sensing her discomfort, remarked that Luna appeared to have been concealing something since her arrival. Aaron asked Luna if she came with bad intentions today. Luna reassured Aaron that she didn't have any ill will. Though she disliked Aaron, Luna felt it was necessary to tell him something important. Aaron then left, promising to hear her out later, suggesting they first deal with Luna's knight. Luna was puzzled by Aaron's sudden change but decided to focus on stopping Britain for now. Eventually, Luna agreed to accompany Aaron. The scene transitions to the grandeur of the audience hall, where the butler, with a hint of curiosity, inquires of Britain whether Count Sirod has indeed agreed to dissolve the engagement. Britain affirms this, elaborating that both Luna and himself have arrived to deliver this news to young Lord Aaron. Selena's frustration becomes palpable as she absorbs this revelation, and she confronts Britain, her voice tinged with a mix of incredulity and indignation. She points out the implication of Count Sirod's actions, suggesting that his willingness to end the engagement signifies his readiness to accept accountability for the fallout. Britain acknowledges her astute observation and reveals that Count Sirod seeks to make amends by offering the Pendragon family ownership of lucrative gold and crystal mines near the border, as well as 2 prized lumber mills in the Brynjard forest. The enormity of this proposal visibly startles both Selena and Melbon, their expressions betraying a mixture of astonishment and disbelief. With a calculated tone, Britain then subtly suggests to Selena that given her current shortage of household staff and knights, it might be prudent to consider Count Sirod's generous offer. Selena, her pride wounded by Britain's insinuations, silently wonders just how much further he intends to slight the honor of the Pendragon lineage. Selena acknowledges the challenging economic situation facing the Pendragon family but resolves not to accept the offer, driven by pride in her family name. Firmly, she informs Britain of her decision to decline the proposal. Britain, however, questions Selena's certainty, highlighting the potential opportunity it presents to restore their family's fortunes. Selena's frustration mounts at his persistence. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifts as the knights enter, paying their respects, followed by Aaron Pendragon. Selena and Melbon's spirits lift at Aaron's arrival. Britain sees Aaron's presence as a significant moment. He believes Luna should take note, as he intends to demonstrate his superiority to Aaron. As Aaron assumes his seat, Britain approaches him, only to be met with Aaron's confusion. Aaron reveals he has lost his memories and doesn't recognize Britain. Shocked, Britain reassesses the situation, realizing Aaron's altered state doesn't necessarily diminish his capabilities. Britain is determined to demonstrate to Aaron the disparity between them and intends to adjust Aaron's attitude. Stepping forward, Britain begins to assert his status as the top knight of the Sirod Count house, but Aaron abruptly interrupts, ordering him to step back. Britain is taken aback by this command. Aaron dismisses Britain, expressing no interest in him and deeming him just a mere knight. Britain, feeling slighted, questions Aaron's rudeness. However, Aaron counters with a stern assertion that it's Britain's party who has come to his castle with disrespect. With an intense gaze, Aaron reiterates his demand for Britain to step back, leaving Britain shocked into compliance. Turning to Luna, Aaron remarks on the commotion and his discovery of the argument over a mere breakup upon his arrival. Aaron gestures for Luna's Sea-Rod to step forward, suggesting they continue their conversation themselves. Luna is caught off guard by the turn of events and ponders her next move. Aaron addresses Luna, affirming that Sea-Rod intends to end the engagement and compensate the Pendragon family with a gold mine, a crystal mine, and 2 lumber mills. He suggests this should settle the matter. Luna, Selena, and Melbon are taken aback by Aaron's blunt approach. Selena questions where Aaron learned such assertiveness, while Melbon advises caution before making any decisions. Aaron acknowledges Sea-Rod's actions but emphasizes the need for the Pendragons to focus on reclaiming their strength. He dismisses the significance of the marriage dispute, expressing doubt that the Pendragons can sway Sea-Rod's decision. Aaron questions Luna if he's mistaken. Luna internally grapples with the realization that she must inform Aaron of her inability to marry him. Reluctantly, she admits to herself that she's beginning to fall in love with Aaron Pendragon. Aaron notices Luna's hesitation and suggests that if it's a decision from the Sea-Rod household, Luna's personal thoughts need not factor in. He accepts the end of the engagement with Sea-Rod without giving Luna a chance to speak. Aaron then turns to Duchess Selena for her approval, which she grants, expressing her trust in Aaron as the head of the Pendragon family. With Selena's consent, Aaron formally announces the annulment of the marriage between himself and Luna's Sea-Rod. Luna and Britain are frustrated, while Selena and Melbon feel relieved. In a moment of solitude, Aaron reflects on the mounting pressures and declares his desire to be excluded from any further marriage discussions. Aaron reflects on his decision to inquire about the economic state of Pendragon territory from Irene. He reasons that if breaking the engagement can yield such significant resources, particularly the valuable crystal mine essential for magical materials, there's little reason to decline. Securing the crystal mine could enable Pendragon to attract skilled mages to their domain, enhancing their capabilities. As Aaron strolls through the corridor, he notices a portrait of the elderly woman he encountered earlier in his room. Curious, he approaches Lindsay and inquires about the woman's identity. Lindsay informs Aaron that she is Lady Atia Pendragon, the older sister of Aaron's grandfather, Sir Klein Pendragon. Aaron repeats her name, only for Atia Pendragon herself to speak from behind him, commending Aaron for addressing her by her name. Startled by her sudden appearance, Aaron listens as Atia expresses her desire to speak with him privately, inviting him to engage in a conversation.